menu, before you go in, and, yeah, don't go hungry.
That's when I get in trouble.
Yeah, and stick to your, if you stick to your list, you should, be tempted to wander through the grocery store.
I have lost my food stamps, I gotta be smart with money.
All right, let's go ahead and any other questions or observations on your week? Anybody been keeping a food journal or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been writing really helpful.
I didn't even bring my journal.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it.
You've been eating really good.
I actually have been.
Good for you.
No snacks.
Not really. I haven't really. It's like my body wants to eat certain things now. Ever since this class, it's just like
Yeah.
ever since like work.
We were talking about that, yeah. Once you start to feed it, healthy things, it wants it.
I know when I started eating like bacon in the morning and pancakes, when I eat oatmeal, like I had more energy.
That's a huge observation.
Because I would just eat a
Yep.
breakfast and just something or
Yep.
cereal.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
You guys been trying to do some breakfast this week?
Yes, oatmeal.
Yep.
It's been my kid's favorite.
Yep, we've had lots of successes with oatmeal. That's been great with the steel cut oats, which are gonna stay with you longer, so.
That was delicious, Karen, thank you.
Good, I'm glad you liked it, and you can see from one rotisserie chicken, you can actually do quite a few things with it, and it's $4.99 at
Any of them,
Yeah,
shop
this
anywhere.
I just stopped at Walmart on my way here because it was right on my way, but, it's not a bad deal to go that way. So I'm gonna just put a couple of these things in my cooler while you guys are finishing up, and then go ahead and get your handout, because we're gonna talk about, exercise. We're gonna hit on it, because it is Health Month, so even though I would love to talk to you guys about eating and food and cooking, I want you to see how everything in your life is interconnected. And when one thing is out of balance, it's gonna have a domino effect. And I think we've kind of talked about that a little bit, but it does have a ripple effect. And sleep especially, and some of you were sharing before we got started how you are having, a hard time with the whole sleep thing. So we're gonna talk a little bit about some tips. We're gonna talk about some tips for sleeping better. And so let me grab my notes.
Cookies.
Lavender cookies,
Huh?
lavender cookies.
Lavender cookies?
Yeah, I went to there's a fairy festival down in Odenton,
Yeah.
and I got some of the fresh lavender and put it in the cookies.
Yep.
They were so good.
Yeah. Anything lavender, if you have some essential oils or a lavender, not the lavender scented stuff, get the lavender essential oil or a oil or a candle made with essential oils, but lavender is awesome, and chamomile to help you relax. A cup of chamomile tea at night. Anybody else have any
I take
tips that
sleepy time
help
too.
you?
Sleepy time too.
Yeah.
Sleepy time,
Me?
yeah. I think there is chamomile in that, isn't there?
There's a
Sleepy time?
there's a whole bunch of different kinds of
Yep.
stuff in it.
Turn off the TV.
And we're gonna talk about that too. That's kind of huge, to turn off the TV about an hour before you want to sleep.
And get away from
Can
your
I get a
cell
little more of
phone.
that?
You can, some more of what? Some more of this? Help yourself. I don't wanna put it away. I was gonna throw it away,
I said
so
when I was a kid, I didn't
want
have
it.
a phone in my room.
if you want it, get
If I
it.
heard it ringing, I got up and got it.
Give me a little bit
So
more.
I charged my phone.
Can I get a little bit more?
Help
I will
yourself,
charge my
because
phone
it's gonna
in my
get thrown
bed.
away.
Victoria, do you mind putting a little bit here for her, please?
Thank you.
That's all she needs, Mom.
Are you sure, Mom?
What did he say, Tiny, what was his name, Oliver Twist? Can I get some bread? Did you ever see that?
Okay, does everybody have a pen or something to write
Yeah,
with?
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'll share with
I love the crunch from the spinach.
Yeah, and you don't have to cook it beforehand. The potatoes wilted it just perfectly for us when we threw them in when they were warm.
Yeah, they want.
Hallelujah.
Okay,
Every
let
time I
me.
get read into this food, you just tell us to make it right away.
I love it.
There's a bunch of us that like this food.
Right? All right, let's switch our brains. Let me get my other glasses on. And we'll switch our brains and talk a little bit about another part of being healthy, and that's the thing we all love to do. Exercise, right?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yes.
My philosophy is find something you love to do and do it. You know, whether it's, you know, hiking or biking or walking or playing with your kids or, you know, I don't think you don't have to labor at the gym for hours on end to get your exercise in. I don't think. I think kayaking and, you know, I like to golf, so walking around on 18 holes is exercise for me. So let me move this a little closer. We just have dry erase markers today. So, okay, so get out your I'm gonna put this over.
Could be thinking about being a mom, you're always exercising, you're always on your feet, chasing after kids.
You're always on the go, aren't you? Yep. And it's easier, I think, when you have little kids to be able to, you know, find time to go to the park with them and, you know, things like that. But there are also challenges too. And a lot of it comes in the form of sleep deprivation, because when you're sleep deprived, you really don't feel like exercising. So, but yeah. So let's fill in the first blank. And its exercise has physical, of course. Physical, as well as psychological benefits. Okay, those little endorphins that ping off when we're exercising, we get our heart rate up. It really is, it has a feel-good, releases that dopamine, you know, that feel-good hormone. So we need exercise to attain, T-T-A-I-N, and maintain.
Oh, attain.
Attain is the first one, and maintain is the second one. I have a friend who looks at me and says, why do you go to the gym? And I said, because I like how I feel after I go to the gym. She goes, but you don't need to go to the gym. And that is the fallacy of a lot of people. They think they join a gym because they want to lose weight. Well, you join a gym because you want to attain some health goals and you want to maintain them. If you just join a gym to lose 20 pounds and then don't ever go back again, you're not going to maintain what you did, right? So, all right. Any weight loss program will be most successful, and we've talked about this, if you combine good nutrition with exercise. Even Weight Watchers now has, you know, their points and stuff, and they'll say you can lose this many pounds in a month, but if you exercise, they'll say, you can lose up to twice as much. So we know, you know, we haven't lived under rocks for the last 20 years, that in order to really get ourselves back in shape, it's not just physical exercise, but we need to put nutrition into it too. So, okay, your exercise program should be, and there's some blanks to fill in on 3. If you're new to wait, are we on 2? We're on 2, sorry. The first one is sensible, okay? Don't think that you're gonna start off, you know, doing a marathon next weekend if you haven't ever really run before. That kind of sensible.
Right.
So sensible, enjoyable, you should find something you love to do and do it. And the next blank is consistent. You can't just, as soon as you reach your weight loss goals or your, you know, your health goals, you can't stop doing it. It's got to be something that you do for a lifetime. So number 3, if you're new to exercise or haven't done it for a while, start slowly, because you're going to hurt yourself if you don't. So start slowly. Some of you have some health issues, and you probably would need to have the sign-off by a doctor on some things that you might want to do. So, I feel like a good pair of walking shoes and a brisk walk around the block, especially now that spring is hopefully coming, is a great way to start. And, you know, as you build your stamina, you can build a sense of satisfaction. Do they still have exercise offered here? They don't? Okay, they did a couple years ago when I was here.
They're supposed to be starting back.
Are they?
The
Okay.
Zumba at least.
Yeah, if they do, there used to be a girl come in
Oh, yeah.
and do some yoga
Mhm.
and things like that. So if they start that again, support that. I think she quit coming because nobody came. And you know how much it costs to take a class at a yoga studio? It's between $14 and $16 for a drop-in fee. That's for an hour to maybe an hour and 15 minutes of yoga. And they're giving you guys an opportunity to do that here for free. So if they start it up again, support it. Okay, number 4, stretching. STRETCHING.
Wait a
We're
minute.
missing one.
Oh, did I?
On number 3, the
We're
last
on number
Oh.
3 left.
And the economical way to
Yeah, an
begin.
economical way to exercise is to start walking. Okay? Most of us can do that, a little bit at a time at least. So start slowly and start maybe walking. And it's a minimal investment in there, as long as you got a good pair of shoes. And if you don't have a good pair of shoes, you can take some of those orthotics that you can get at Walmart for $4 and slip them into an old pair of shoes and it'll give you some new life. I like those.
Orthotics are only $4?
Some of the ones at Walmart are
Hmm.
between 4 and 6. Dr. Scholl's has a good one that's
Oh.
got an arch support in it and it's got kick. In fact, I'm wearing them right now. I love them. I just feel so comfortable. So, okay, stretching. Good way to keep your muscles flexible. We talked about yoga's awesome. It's kind of like, your muscles are kind of like a rubber band. Have you ever seen a rubber band that's been out in the sun? And when you try and stretch it, what happens to it? It breaks, yeah. So yoga, my
that what
husband
happens to
just,
us?
my husband just had surgery, and the orthopedic surgeon said to him, motion is lotion. When you think about that, lubricate your joints when you keep them moving. If you don't, use them, use it or lose it, I guess is the old saying. So you're gonna lose it. So, and you never too young or too old to start. So, okay, number 5, exercise in the morning revs up your, what do you think that might be? Metabolism. Metabolism. Okay. So if you can exercise in the morning, that's the best time to exercise, because sometimes it helps you be active all day long. You get that metabolism burning, and you can burn calories and fat more efficiently throughout the day. So
is it any kind of exercising?
well, anything that gets your heart rate up.
Okay.
If you can't get, outside, if you have stairs, just run up and down the stairs a few times, get your heart rate going. Yep, yep.
Come over
So,
my house, your heart will get jumping.
Yeah.
Chasing after all the kids, come over my house.
yep. So, and fitness is a journey, not a destination. I hate to tell you this, but you're gonna have to find something creative to do for your whole life. You can't just do it until you lose weight or whatever else it is you want to do. My daughter wants to run a marathon, so right now she's training for that. And, and she said, when I'm done training for this, I need another goal. Because it's not good for your body to do that starting and stopping thing. So any questions on physical fitness? You can do things in a chair. There are chair exercises. There are, stretching exercises. We could all stand here and do a quad stretch. There are things you can do, just little things that make a huge decision or an impact on your body. So it's just finding those opportunities. We talked about parking you know, away from the store and walking a little bit extra. You know, just little things like that, taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
We don't have any cars, so. we just-
Well, there you go. There you go. Riding your bike, walking, all that stuff. So, anybody have any thing that's worked for them in the past as far as exercise is concerned?
When I was pregnant, I did yoga, and it helped me with delivery.
Well, there you go. It can be very helpful for that. Keeps all those muscles stretched and flexible, and when they need to work, they work better. That's good. Yep. All right, well, let's talk about sleep. How many of you can say that you regularly get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night?
I try to get more.
Okay. Good. More is better. And none of you, really?
4
Wow.
to 6.
4 to 6?
Wait a minute, you don't, you can work for 8 hours.
Really?
don't you?
Wow.
When you
Wake
go to
up
bed
all
at
night,
night.
it don't matter, I wake up
Okay, well,
all
let's
throughout
talk
the
a little
night.
bit about,
Mhm.
let's talk a little bit about sleep, because
I've
um,
never slept
if
seven
you're
hours,
not
7,
getting
8
good
hours
sleep,
straight
you are not gonna feel like exercising, you're more than likely gonna make poor food choices, and you're gonna be more likely to gravitate towards simple carbohydrates. And we've talked about that. A donut. You just don't have any energy to think about doing anything else. So you're gonna find out that sleep deprivation does kind of, it has that cycle effect that we talked about, and not in a good way. So just some little fun facts. There are 2 hormones that regulate the sleep-wake cycle. I was gonna actually bring you in some melatonin. Did you
I
ever
have
see
that,
the ads for the melatonin?
Big work.
And people say you can safely use those, you know, to help with some sleep. You dissolve a little tablet under your tongue. They can be good for occasional sleeplessness, but melatonin is a very powerful hormone. And it's what kicks in about 8 o'clock at night to start telling you when it's time to go to bed. So cortisol is the thing that revs you up. It's the hormone that as soon as you open your eyes in the morning and you see bright light, your cortisol levels start to increase. So we talked about sleep, average sleep for optimal wellness is about 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. So that's the first blank. Aim for 7 to 8. I know that's, for some of you, you're going, I wish. But hopefully we can talk to you about some simple things that we can do. We're gonna talk about some tips that might be helpful. I just kind of want you to know what your body does. How many of you guys have had trouble since the time change, waking up in the morning? Anybody? Well, it's
think that's my
darker in the
problem.
morning, yeah, that, and maybe
Lately.
your kids too, I don't know, if it wakes your kids out. That can be very disruptive. There's a lot of states now that are saying, we don't even want to do the time change because it can take up to 2 weeks for your body to get used to the new time change because it's darker in the morning. Your body doesn't want to get up in the morning. It's lighter at night, and so your cortisol levels stay high. So,
But you know, it really doesn't matter as far as the clock is concerned. If you look outside, because right now, 7:30, 8 o'clock, it's still light.
yep,
So even if you
Yep.
did put the clocks back where they belong, it's still 6:30, 7:30.
yep,
So it really doesn't really matter what
right,
time.
right, right,
It's
right, I
It's
know.
natural, you know what
I know.
I'm saying? It's just the way the
Yeah.
the earth revolves around,
Well, I
you
was
know?
talking to some of the girls, I spend the summer in Alaska, and I need sunglasses at 11:30 at night. I try not to stay up that late, but Alaska in the summertime is the land of the midnight sun. The sun goes down about midnight, and it comes up again about 3. And it's just dusk between midnight and 3. It never gets complete, I never saw the
Weird.
moon until September. So it is weird. So the thing that you have to do is you have to have blackout curtains.
That's what I was
You
gonna
have
say,
to have an
dark
eye
shades.
mask, yes, and you have to force yourself to go to bed, especially if you have breakfast shift, because, you know, 11 o'clock, everybody's out visiting and chatting, and you're not really even aware of what time it is, and all of a sudden you're going, man, it's midnight, and I gotta get up at 5. So,
I did with my youngest. I let him sleep until he wakes up. Before it was, he woke up around 9, which is
Yep.
perfect. Now it's 10.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, he's staying up all night. I'm like, no, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, my daughter has blackout curtains in her kids' rooms, and they make a big difference. She's also got a clock that lights up when they can get up, and that's been helpful for them. They stay in bed until their clock lights up. But okay, so let's talk about number 2. What happens to your body while you're sleeping? I got this from WebMD. It's called the healing power of sleep. Number 1 thing it does is and this sounds funny, but it saves calories. When you can't sleep, where do you go?
Go to eat.
You go to the kitchen, right? I do. I don't know about you, I do. I go to the kitchen. Yep. Yep. A part of your brain that controls sleep also plays a part in appetite and metabolism. So that's huge. The next blank, it makes you smarter. Okay? I know that sounds crazy, but this is what the research said. It says you absorb thousands of things every day. Your brain sorts through new words and new things while you sleep. It decides what to toss and what to keep. The important things become memories you call upon later. So I didn't know that. I thought, okay, there's some truth to that. Okay, next blank, it brightens your mood. And we all know that. When we're not sleeping good, we're not in a very good mood. So sleep allows your mind and body to just turn off, which gives you energy and a positive outlook. So it can also help you manage stress. So, all right, that was number.
To guard your.
Oh yeah. Okay. It heals you. Okay, brightens your mood, heals you from the inside out. Okay. Your body does a lot of healing while you're sleeping. Your brain triggers the release of hormones that actually encourage tissue growth, and it can help you recover from an injury. How many of you have ever gotten a virus when you've been sleep deprived? That's pretty common. When you're low on sleep, your immune system is strengthened while you're sleeping. And if your immune response is low because of sleep deprivation, you're much more likely to come down or to contact a virus. Our bodies are fighting viruses off all the time, every single day. But when we're eating and sleeping and managing stress, our bodies have the ability to fight them off. But when we're sleep deprived, our immune system and our immune response is low and not so much. So, okay, the next blank is it guards your heart. I thought this was interesting. Your blood pressure lowers while you sleep, and it gives your vascular system a break. It also, of course, gives a lot of organs in your bodies just a break. So, okay, number 3, it revs you up. Getting enough sleep gives you enough energy to exercise. And it makes tough decisions easier. Decisions easier. A rested brain helps give us a new way of looking at our challenges and problems. It's kind of the difference between firing on 4 cylinders versus firing on 6 cylinders. It can also boost your creativity. Wow, there's a lot of things that happen when we get a good night's rest. So, okay, let's look at tips for better sleep. And I am looking to you guys to throw in some tips too. So we talked about try to get some early morning light. Okay? Because again, that ups that cortisol level. I do a lot of traveling between time zones, and I find that when I get to my new spot, if I watch the sunset, it's like my body knows what to do. So that plays a big part. Even opening blinds first thing in the morning can suppress the melatonin. Remember, that's the sleep one. C-O-N. Okay, so it suppresses it and elevates your cortisol. Those are the 2 hormones that.
I used to have to give to my kids.
You what?
I used to have to pudding for the kids at night.
Put some melatonin?
Melatonin.
Yep, yep.
Because they would not sleep. They wanted to play all night.
Uh-huh, yeah. Well, yeah. All right, so and exercise in the morning if possible, because if you exercise later in the afternoon or evening, I took a Pilates class one time at 7:30 at night, and I was awake, wide awake, at 1:30 in the morning, because it interfered with my sleep. So that, it got me so revved up. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to interfere, and there's an R in there. Sorry, you guys.
Okay.
Okay, number 6, cut off caffeine-containing products after 2. If you're having trouble, now my husband can drink a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night and go to bed. But if you're having trouble sleeping, you want to make sure that you're not drinking any caffeine after 2. Number 7, don't nap longer than 20 to 30 minutes a day. That is a huge one. That's a huge one. Any longer and it will definitely disrupt your sleep at night. So, and this is important. I'm gonna go to the next page because I don't want that down. Number 8, keep to a consistent wake and sleep time. Early rising by 7 a.m. is the best. So 7.
That's
Okay.
early.
Yep, it's early, but you'll go to bed early and ensures that your melatonin's gonna
3 o'clock.
naturally start to rise about 8 or 9 at night.
Yeah, but if I go to bed before 12, I'm up at 1.
Really? If you go to bed before 12?
Yes, I'm up at 1 or
Really?
2.
Really? You can't go to back to sleep?
Nope.
Okay,
I cannot go to bed till 12,
okay.
then I can't,
And
then I
then you
get
can
up
sleep until,
4,
really? So, and then you're up for the rest of the,
yes.
I'm the one that goes to sleep, wakes up, I go through the house, go back to bed. I might get up an hour or so later, I'll walk around the house again, use the bathroom, go back to bed.
interesting.
I give up,
Or I'll get up,
Uh-huh.
go to the bathroom, look out the back window, then go back. I just can't stay asleep the whole night.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
The whole
that's
11
basically me
hours.
Right,
after 4.
right.
I
Right.
go to bed, I'll start my bedtime about 7 o'clock, I'll sleep for about 2 hours, I get up, I sit on the edge of the bed and I'll fall asleep for about an hour, then I'm up for an hour or so, cause I'm
Yeah.
up every morning at 3 a.m., between 3 and 3:30.
Wow.
And then I'm up the rest of the day.
Wow.
And then about 4 o'clock, then I start to go back to sleep, 4 in the afternoon.
That's true, too.
Because
That's hard.
Yeah.
I've been at your house.
It depends on the baby's weight also.
Right,
So,
right.
I
I know,
don't have
I,
energy.
I know you guys have got challenges that, I'm just giving you information that in a perfect world will help you to be able to sleep more. So the other, number 9 is don't eat a heavy meal within 3 hours of bedtime. Well, 3 hours of bedtime, a heavy meal, you know what I'm talking about, dinner. If you can, okay. And we talked about this, number 10, limit your light exposure from TV and electronic devices 1 hour before bedtime. It has something to do with blue lights and stimulation and all that, so if you can. Then we're, number 11, have a bedtime routine. We talked about having maybe a cup of chamomile tea, or taking a hot bath, or lighting a scented
What
candle.
about salt lamps?
Salt, you know what? My daughter's been using those, the Himalayan salt lamp. She loves it. She's a massage therapist and she keeps them in her massage room. And she says it has a very calming effect. I've never tried it, but that's
thinking
something
about
to definitely.
My friend's into it, but she's also into like all the rocks and all this other stuff.
Yep, hot
There's
stone
a
massage.
Epsom salt and lavender oil that I use.
Yes, to soak in the tub with.
No, this
Epsom
is when you
salts
rub
are
on yourself.
great.
You just rub on yourself. And
Oh,
it
really?
helps you relax too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I started, yeah.
They sell it at Walmart.
Yeah, magnesium supplements also, I started actually doing a magnesium supplement before I go to bed. It's a powder that I put in some water and drink it, and that helps me. Magnesium is kind of the muscle mineral, and it helps my muscles relax. So magnesium might be something, I didn't even write it in here, but it might be something that you might use. So we talked about a restorative ritual sends signals to your body clock about what's to come next.
Bath salts good too.
Sleep what?
Bath salts.
Bath salts, yep. Okay, and we already talked about this, number 12, use blackout curtains, especially in your kids' room. You know, or an eye mask or something like that. They say the best temperature for sleeping is around
50 degrees.
68 degrees is about the best temperature for sleeping.
I like 50 degrees.
Well, then some people like it a lot cooler.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
63.
Yep, and the thing that this is what I do, I have an app on my phone, but number 14, turn on a fan for some background noise, especially if you live in the city. It helps tune out sounds that may not wake you fully, but they rouse you from a deep restorative sleep. So sirens and horns honking and
Gunshots,
yeah,
Yeah, that's my
And
neighborhood.
I had the fan on and I couldn't hear it. It was shooting, I had the fan.
And that's not so
Or I'll
bad.
be like,
Fire
oh,
goes
so
out.
just shooting, that's
They
all.
called like, you alright? They're shooting. I'm like, girl, I'm asleep. I got the fan on.
Yep.
Yep, and so if you had something with background noise that makes a consistent hum, and put it in your kids' room, it's really great, little fan.
wake up at
So,
8:18.
Okay, anybody have
8:18
any,
at night.
I think this is our last
I
class
didn't know
together.
it was today.
So it is, I don't know what you're doing next week, but,
Thank you for everything.
yeah,
I
this
woke
has
up-
been, you
This
guys
time
have
I'm
so
gonna take
fun.
them home.
Oh, you are, here, I'll tell you what,
Sophia, she's like, what?
fresh ones, no, nope,
It's still
not
light,
taking them.
8 at night.
My husband won't eat them and I can't eat them. So, anybody have any questions, observations? Anything that we didn't cover that you would really like to cover? I'm gonna see if I can get back here a little bit more before I go to Alaska. So if there's anything that you would like to cover that we didn't, be happy to entertain
You
them.
know how people sit there back and play all of these tricks.
Yeah.
Like, we had something, I thought I just a few minutes, like,
Yep.
people don't know how to make it.
talking about your game plan.
This is healthy, that's right. This is
Do you wanna play with something that are different?
Maybe Christie.
I like roasting asparagus. I roast a lot of vegetables. I'll boil salt and pepper, roast it in a hot oven for 10 minutes.
So,
And cheese, just caramelize the
I
natural
hope that happens
sweetness
soon.
in your vegetables and it.
Well, no, I don't look
Delicious.
back.
So pick them up, yeah, well, string beans, I've roasted them. I find for string beans that I parboil them and then I toss them in a ice water bath.
Yeah.
And then I'll saute them in some butter. But string beans have a kind of a tough outer coating, unless you're picking them right off the garden stalk. Usually we don't get that fresh. So if you parboil them for 3 or 4 minutes and then saute them, and blister them a little bit, get them nice and hot in a hot saute pan, I think that's delicious. And
Right by the
Have you
bush.
ever been
In front
to
of the
H
bush.
Market over in
Where
Elgin
are
City?
no, I have not.
It's an Asian market.
And I can
Okay.
just smell it. It
All
just gives me a good
dehydrated-
smell.
Yes.
Dehydrated
When
honey
did-
beans.
When do they
My
bloom?
granddaughter
They should
loves
already be starting to bloom.
Dried
Lilacs, start lilacs blowing.
Yeah.
Apricot.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember we were trying to
Yeah.
figure out what that plant in your yard and look like
Yeah.
a
But
little
she
lilac?
loves them
Or
green
was it
beans.
something
They
else?
sell them standard like that for
In your front
$6.
yard, you couldn't figure out
And
what it was.
they're delicious.
Wow, that's great.
Was
Wow,
it
who
azaleas or
knew?
something, or
See?
lilac?
But I
We were
can't
trying
get
to
fresh
figure out
store
what
to
it
get it.
was.
Yeah,
Where's the
yeah.
other?
I don't know, I don't remember.
How long do
Cilantro?
Yeah,
Because you said, I got everything marked.
Yes.
Right.
said-
You could
That's right, that's right, I
probably,
don't remember.
There was one plant you
it's-
had, but
it's-
you're not sure what it was.
it's great in, it's great in an
I'll have to wait for
omelet.
them to bloom
You can
again.
sprinkle it in an omelet,
They
yeah.
come up with-
Anything
they should
green
be
you can
getting
get in an
ready. So
omelet.
this
I
is-
actually
As
have
it
a
starts
lot
getting
of,
warm, the ground.
Right, it started
And they bloom
for the summer days.
Are you on Facebook a lot?
The whole summer they blew. Oh, good.
sometimes,
Yeah, they're very
more,
good.
more so probably in the summertime.
Yeah,
like
the
a
last
cookie
one,
show.
it was really a good 3 days
No,
in
if
the
like
house.
we have any
But
questions
you
where
put-
we can
oh, yeah, yeah,
do like an
yeah.
email or a
Yeah.
Facebook or something.
No, I'm like, if you have a lilac.
I'll
tree
give
or
Mandy
bush,
all my
You could
contact
once a week
information,
go out and
she
get a
can
couple
give it to you
little-
guys
Okay.
next week, I
little
think that would be
bundles.
great.
Stick them in your house, it smells so
Hey,
good.
sweetie, did you wanna come get me?
And some eucalyptus, eucalyptus.
All right.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus is
All right,
good.
love you.
Yeah.
All
I use
right,
baby
rest of
leaves,
you.
but it's
Out in
dry.
the doorways and
Yep.
stuff, so
The
people
ones
can
that
when
say
they
a
come in.
lot, they be wilted, they be all dried out.
Yeah.
So I don't get 'em. And
Yeah.
I don't know where to put them in anyway, so.
Mostly for soups and stews and things like that.
Miss Karen?
Tony,
Good
it
to
was fun
see
to
ya.
have you here,
I'm-
thank
I'm
you.
tired, so I stay any longer, I'm gonna fall asleep like I have been.
Go home and take a 20-minute nap.
Oh, no, no.
I had to
go
say
home-
that.
Normally, sometimes if I go home, I'll get that second wind. But if I go home and sit in a chair, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done for the rest of the day and night, that's,
Keep,
you know?
keep moving, keep moving.
I'm trying.
Okay, good.
What?
Well, you guys have been awesome. I
If I had
appreciate
a
your
converter box,
enthusiasm.
I wish you
and
had that converter box.
It's been fun to do this, so.
I like it.
Now, you know how with the older TVs, Tony, you know what a converter box is, right?
Right?
Remember before,
Like,
for the
forget about it, but this
Yeah,
one
it-
sticks with me.
remember a
Yeah.
couple
No,
years
it's-
back, if you didn't have a converter box,
If
you
you
wouldn't be
didn't
able to
have
watch
cable,
TV.
you had to have a box where
Thank
the
you
government
for-
was giving out the
I
grants.
appreciate that.
The government was giving grants, was
Right.
giving the gift cards for $40, you
Right.
go to Walmart,
So
yeah,
now I have to
getting
get a
it for free.
converter box in order to,
Do you have
Hook the
a
antenna up.
electric burner or do you have a gas?
That's great.
No, all you
Yeah.
gotta do is just go buy one of
see,
those
if it's a
antennas.
flat
30
screen, all you do is hook
What
the
is it,
antenna, but when
20
it's an older
seconds?
TV,
Yeah.
this Plumber gave it to me, ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it.
All you need is just to buy, get one of them antennas that you hook, put on your window, cause remember I
had
I
one.
lent
I
a little.
still have it,
Right,
I'm still
right,
using it.
I want to fry it, I want to like.
Yeah.
I gave her
Yeah, you
one
don't-
that it's an
Yeah.
antenna that you hook right to the back of your TV. You know, it screws in and all, and you like stick it up at your window or wherever, and it pulls in all them other channels
that.
from around the
But you know
world.
I
they
did
changed
that.
it now.
They did?
They changed the channel.
I did that, I plugged it into the cable thing,
Yeah.
and you know how it says scan for channels?
Yeah.
It wouldn't come up, and somebody said I needed a converter box.
You have to ask her.
That's crazy.
You have to ask
Oh, live it down. See that?
Yeah, it's in good shape. See, all flat screens, if you hook up, antenna, they automatically work.
Well, why don't you, all right, well, why don't you hook a regular antenna to it? Or you still need a converter box? All right, wait a minute, sweetie, I'm gonna go get
Look, my son picked a bike over a TV.
Yeah, she did she like charred them or something and just, I didn't eat one char. This is helpless.
Potato and spinach.
Because I like to sit in the living room, and that way when y'all come over,
I know, I keep trying to get Raymond to put